So
has the match started today?
They've lost 3 wickets today. 77 for 5.
Wow. No, when the pod started, it was still raining.
That's why they've lost
Lots has happened since the pod has started.
Only 2 hours to Shikhar Dhawan opening the innings for India.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review. Can we rock and roll, please?
Hello and welcome to Bits and Pieces, the friendliest cricket podcast. Friendliest, the keen listener may ask, who gave you that title? To which we say, as per the Lalit Modi principle, no one has stated otherwise. So this tag is up on our bio. When push comes to shove, if sush comes to shove, we will shush claims to how we are the friendliest cricket podcast. Till then, we will cover everything in the world of cricket from unrequited loves to unholiest cows with unequated hows. If you want to contest this, reply our SMS, you cowards. This is episode 28, recorded on Sunday, the 17th of July 2022. India was supposed to bring home the bacon from England, and who better to talk about it than a panel that can be described as a sausage fest. Without much ado, let me say salami to the rest of the gang who bring the baloney. You know, the thing about sausage jokes is that they're all bad, but the one that comes at the end is the worst. I am Tony, and here are the friendliest friends joining me on Bits and Pieces today. First up, this man made his name early on in the lockdown for making music out of the most unexpected household items. A packet of biscuit, random upholstery, assorted chakna, you give him anything and he would make it sound good. He then perfected his craft by taking this to its logical conclusion, by trying to make word music out of random uncle outrages and jokes on this very podcast. His edits have the touch of Midas that hide us from the spotlight of sheer mediocrity, and his words are no less. His description of Praveen Amre running onto the field was responsible for a 2-kilometer pile-up on the Eastern Express Highway as listeners pulled over to laugh. The swing arm sing-arm of Malad, the sticker flicker who transforms LOL into laughing out loud, the gif that gives on giving. Say hi, cows.
How do I top that? I'm shutting up. This is it. End the podcast here only. Khatam. It's over.
Yeah. Now you know why you have the headache. I'm sorry about this. Next on the pod, the fickle Indian team might put you in a pickle, but his tweets always bring you a tickle. The spiciest item to come out of human resources. The achar from HR with the ability to balance all the flavors perfectly. He is the perfect accompaniment to the biryani of cricket. The opening batsman who believes in giving the first horror to the bowler, the big baller short caller of cricket Twitter, and now of Bits and Pieces. Say hi, L_Chopernos, Abhishek Chopra.
Thank you. I don't think even my mother, who loves me very much, will describe me as kindly as that. Thank you so much.
Wait, question though. Do you add like pickle to biryani, like for real?
Of course you eat biryani with pickle. What are you saying?
I only eat veg biryani, so nothing counts actually. So.
Yeah, no. I had to make sure there were no bad lines because you very famously hate the bad line bowled by Jadeja 2 weeks ago even now. So I had to make sure.
For a moment when you said pickle biryani opening batsman, I thought Ambati Raidu was joining the podcast. Maybe next week.
No such luck. But next on the pod, he's not only too young to be an uncle, but one would imagine he would be intimidated by the presence of a preeminent Srini Mama in Indian cricket. But if there was ever a man to stake an early claim to avuncularity with his sagacious insights and whiskey honey voice, it is this man. They say Switzerland is the playground of Europe, and rest assured that Srinath is the man at the ground flagging the play. They call him the Swiss cheese of sports world for his ability to poke holes into the game and the way it's run, leaving it a much better product than it started out with. The young old uncle of Bits and Pieces. Say hi, Srinath Sripat.
Wow, that's all, man. Let's just finish it here. Thanks.
He is our Swishmita son.
Amazing.
Please, dude. Wow.
Yeah. Next up, back on the pod. If his departure from a conventional MBA career to join Cricinfo could have been called Breaking Bad, then his re-emergence into the cricketing scene with bits and pieces is undoubtedly the Better Call Saul. The cuss who brings calmness like Gus Fring. He stays true to his roots like Jesse Pinkman and distinctively smells of Madras. Is that a Bessie Stinkman? The unbeatable clever man who puts assault a bite like Walter White. The slippin' Jimmy for whom the ladies cry, flippin' gimme. It is none other than Nitin Sundar. Say hi.
I thought I was the one who talks, man.
Yeah, this is
Acha,
my
we'll need a
early group discussion. Intro.
strategic timeout after this intro round is over.
Yeah, we should just do intro. Can we do intro as a service, like for podcast? Right? Like any podcast thing.
Intro as a
content, we will make sure people cross the first 20 seconds.
If you can believe it, I saved the most random intro for the end. So, and finally, burning the midnight oil for us in Seattle. He may not know what a Doja cat is, but we like to flaunt him to all other cricket pods in the world, saying, "Doja wish your pod friend was smart like him." His love for signage on trains and planes is much like dog food. The more livery, the better. He's all cart, but he's also the brains of this podcast. And what's more, he's the first to smell bullshit and call it out. Yes, he's also the nose and mouth of this pod. Or if you're Hindi forward, the nak and mook of this podcast. If you think I made a Nakamuka joke, it's only because Kart spent a good amount of time in Arizona, 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 re. Say hi, Kart.
Really? Should I? Why? Nothing left to say.
Don't you wish your podcast was cut like me?
Yeah, there you go. Super. Okay, I think we should get into some cricket talk now. Welcome everyone. So apparently Lalit Modi's newfound romance at his old age has been described by many in the cricketing circles as the Vitality Blast. But we'll start with the real Vitality Blast, the finals of which was yesterday. And Srinath, why don't you take it away and tell us what happened?
I watched this mostly for hilarity because it's very old school, right? They have a 3-game finals day, which has like the same pitch, mostly bearing it out for 120 overs. So it's almost always comedy by the end of it. It's like a test pitch on day 5, reacting to T20 scenes. So typically always comic. And there's this mascot race where 18 furry animals run on the ground over random obstacles, like a steeplechase competition.
What? Are you serious?
Almost.
Yeah. Before the match starts, before the finals day, all the mascots of all the teams, they run. And like
I saw this. I was searching on Twitter to try to catch the the ending, which we're going to talk about. And the only thing on Twitter is the mascot race.
I really thought our intro at least would have been better, dude. But like mascot race cannot be topped in terms of.
No, it's a blown up version of nets, then stumps, then a ball, and then a bat.
As against IPL, where the mascots are just blow up versions of Ambani's kids. But yeah.
No.
Ouch.
Don't forget the vulture that came and pecked the screen, right, at the IPL. But Royal Mascot Race, not to be confused with Royal Ascot Race.
Ascot race, yeah. Well
That was not a vulture, you anti-national. That was Garuda. Munde baro Garuda.
Whatever, culture vulture.
Vulture. It's always fun to watch that stuff because David Lloyd at 75 used to run along with these mascots with the mic in hand till last year. This year he's gone. So it was half the fun, but they had some giant booklet describing what each mascot eats, what is its behavior and so on. So they try to make it quite detailed and descriptive, right? Before the real fun begins with the umpires, which it did in due course. So it was Lancashire versus Hampshire in the final. I think everyone should watch the YouTube video of the final moments. But obviously, peak umpiring hilarity, right? In the first innings, there was this moment where there were only 3 fielders inside the circle. And neither umpire noticed. Apparently, you should have 4. Nitin will clarify. But so, batting side complained, saying there's only 3 in the circle. It should be a no ball, re-bowl that ball, and so on. But beautifully enough for cricket, the third umpire also did not have a shot of the field. So there was no replay where anyone could prove that there are only 3 fielders in the circle. So first lulls of the day, the batting team's total should have been higher than what it was.
So the batting team objected immediately, is it? As soon as the ball was bowled.
Yeah, after the ball was bowled, because it was
did Praveen Amre run onto the
No, mascots ran onto the field instead.
Lanky from Lancashire ran onto the pitch. But no.
Who's basically Prasidh Krishna, as we shall later reveal. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so that was the first lulls. Hampshire were basically sledging the Lancashire captain, Dane Vilas, who was standing outside. Is it Dane Vilas?
Dane Vilas.
But anyway, the second innings, more fun. Obviously, there were, I think, 11 to get or 12 to get in the final over. Nathan Ellis, who famously played 1 game for Kings XI Punjab, and
if you say so,
superstar from. If you say so, yeah, it's that moment. So bowled a great over. The final ball of which I think so. So the main thing about this over was the commentators were repeatedly clarifying who won in case of a tie, right? Because there were 3 games, they didn't bother with a super over. Like, it's 10 hours already of people drinking beers. We don't want another hour. So at the end of in the middle of the final over, they said if it's tied, the team with fewer wickets lost wins the tournament, which was Lancashire at that point. And then Lancashire duly lost a wicket. So Hampshire and Lancashire both had same number of wickets lost. And then it was higher power play score wins the tournament, which again turned out to be Lancashire. Then we get to the final ball. So 5 to get. And Richard Gleeson, now an international star, is bowled by Nathan Ellis. Everyone goes off, runs to celebrate. So everyone's pretty much by the square leg boundary, sliding, celebrating, whatever. Because Hampshire have lost their previous 5 semi-finals. So it's a big deal for them, right? Fireworks go off, whole ground is in smoke, everything happens. And then the umpire signals no ball, right? It's actually a Mohammad Amir level no ball that's not been spotted by the on-field umpire. So third umpire spots it and replays score. Like, the guy's 1.5 feet in front of the crease in all the excitement. So
and the amazing part of this is basically the on-field umpire who has not spotted this, who is now signaling it, is basically doing it in the most condescending manner. He's like, no ball, and he's like, Aajao. Like, come back. You have to replay this ball. Like the perfect moment would have been basically this umpire signaling the no ball face to face with that Pakistani uncle from the 2019 World Cup with his hands on his hips. Yeah, anyway, go on.
No, the thing is they had to re-bowl the final ball, right? Which is now a free hit.
Yes.
Okay, but the firecrackers have already gone off, so they're waiting for I was watching
Budget
this.
is over.
But
Yeah,
you can't celebrate. At the end of it, when the team actually wins, there is nothing left to say.
Yeah, so now they have to wait for the smoke to dissipate first. Okay, and then everyone, they stop celebrating, go back to their fielding positions. Like, it took 3-4 minutes at least for that whole thing to transpire properly.
So in 3-4 minutes, many things happened. First of all, no ball had 2 runs, which is apparently a vitality blast rule, right? So suddenly they showed 3 of 1 required, right? So I was wondering what happened, and then it turns out that each no ball is 2 runs. And then 3 of 1, so they actually need only 2 because they have higher power play score.
How with 2 no balls, how vitality, Lalit Modi, I don't understand anything.
We should have ended the pod long ago, guys. This is all extra stuff. And obviously Nathan Ellis coolly comes down and bowls a slower one, goes to the keeper. Keeper is casually walking down, right? By this time, the captain has also changed the field, apparently, which you can't do. It's already another no ball, right? So,
Nobody has camera footage of this either, by the way.
Nobody cares about this either. But Saqib Mahmood, who's injured but plays for Lancashire, has pointed this out on Twitter. Nobody knows whether it's true or not. But I think he's right because everyone just wanted to get over it, right? Like last wicket and last ball. Cue crowd invasion. Fireworks are over, budget is over, only lights are on. Next time lights also go off, right? If you bowl another no ball.
12 o'clock power cut.
And then basically we'll have 2007 World Cup final.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a great reference. So keeper runs down, strolls down casually. Non-striker has made his ground. So then keeper sprints to the other side because this guy is calling for 2. If you get 2, you're tied, right? But some geniuses at the other end have removed 2 stumps already. So there's only
It's
one
Mason
stump.
Mason
Crane. Yes. Thanks, Chops.
Swing off of the lot, not forget about the crane.
Yeah, crane, vulture, Garuda, all scenes are happening. So one stump, no bails left. So they just pluck out the stumps.
No, they
Umpire is
don't.
already signaling.
They don't actually, right? So again,
No, they've already plucked it out.
they have plugged it out. The cameraman again does comedy, right? So they pan away from the action and they do a close-up of the bowler and there's one fielder near him, so you actually don't know what's happening. Then they pan back to the side view of the non-striker's end, and the keeper who was running towards the non-striker's end originally just had the ball in his gloves. Now he has a ball and he has a stump in his gloves, and he's still running towards the stump, so there's no idea what when you look at it, it looks like he's picked up a stump from the middle of the pitch. But what happened was, one of the fielders who had uprooted 2 of the stumps, I think 2 fielders uprooted 2 stumps, one of those fielders has run towards the keeper who's running towards the non-striker's end, given him a stump to celebrate. This guy is holding that stump and running towards the one remaining stump. And
But
what the fuck?
I mean, player of the match is obviously the guy with the fireworks who managed to cue it the second time. So, I think Kaus was watching this intently as well, and none of us realized the stump drama because I assumed that the previous end itself was a run out because the umpire signaled dead ball, right? So
Previous
if you
end,
run
the
out, the other guy,
batsman
the guy reached.
By which time they ran 2, right? They ran 2.
They ran 2 by the end.
Yeah. No, the other guy had reached for the second run. This other guy was trying to run back. But I know why they call it Vitality Blast now. The fireworks guy blew his load, but he was able to find some more at the end.
Oh my God.
2 bites of the cherry.
So that was it, man. Like some 22 umpiring errors and 4 new rules later, Hampshire are crowned champions.
Because their mascot was faster.
The only thing is the match was technically over as soon as the first run was completed. Like that is the final state of it because the scorecard doesn't record any run out on the last ball.
You can't run.
1 run scored.
They couldn't have done the run out. There were no stumps to uproot or bails to, knock off at the non-striker's end. So there was no run.
No, there's one stump, Nitin. One stump was left.
Which the keeper never uprooted.
Yes, exactly. So Lancashire's right now their contention is the second run which was completed should have been counted and Lancashire should have been crowned champions. But Hampshire, James Vince, I think is their skipper. He's saying that, once the ball is in the keeper's hands, keeper is close to the stumps. Just as a matter of practice, you
As a
the
matter
team to run, and so the match is over right then and there. So
Okay, I see. So basically they're saying the ball should be dead. Like the thing is over. There are no more actions, whatever, blah.
yeah. And the umpires obviously are not caught on camera signaling the end of the match or the ball being dead.
The cameraman is on his own trip in this one.
Indulge me as I step into Ambi Mama mode for exactly 10 seconds. How did these fuckers rule the world for 400 plus years, dude? Like, what the fuck? I don't understand. Like, what is this?
The answer to that is there were no replays 400 years ago. So they just made up the rules and no one could question it.
We should call this Podwin's law, right? We'll get
Podwin's
to, yeah. Within 3 conversations, Cart will rant about the Queen.
Yes.
That's Podwin's law.
Absolutely. I will bring it.
The empire of the umpire is basically what.
Umpire strikes back. But I had a question now. Now suppose now the second run is happening. Okay, assume second run happening, but all 3 stumps have been taken out. How does a run out happen?
It can't.
You're allowed to. No, you can. No, you're allowed to stick the stump back in.
Okay.
Yeah, you ground the stump back in.
Oh, what is this electrical engineering stuff, dude? Like grounding, like what is this?
Dude, when we are playing cricket, we can have current run out and all, but you can't do this, is it? What the hell?
It's called power play.
But what I'm trying to ask is, see, suppose like that's what. So the usual rule is when bails have been disturbed and you want like the run out, you still want to affect the run out to take a stump out, right? If no stumps exist there, okay, and the guy is running, what do? You put the stump back in, but doesn't that mean he's safe?
No, this is when Kirchhoff's law comes in.
You uproot it again.
Kirchhoff's law.
It's like ukhad le and then phir ukhad le. It's like a sequel.
It's a Fleming's middle finger rule. Right hand screw, whatever you want.
How CSK screwed with the system and won every time. That is Fleming's middle finger rule, is it?
I'm telling you guys, if the batsman running towards the non-striker's end was Ashwin, he would have convinced everyone, and by now that team would have won the game. Like absolutely no doubt.
Macha, just 1 second. When, as far as Ashwin running of the last ball is concerned, we saw Ashwin did in the Wankhede test.
He didn't come back for the single, as Sirin memorably observed.
World famous. No, honestly, if Ash Anna had been the one doing it, he'll be running back. He'll only uproot the stump with the ball in his hand.
No.
We won't know what happened.
As he's running, he will explain to the fielder what you now need to do to get a run out. Idiot, you don't even know these rules. He'll be explaining.
So before running as a non-striker, can you just knock the stumps over and run?
No, that will not be
so that they have to. Why?
Then you will be given out
Against the spirit of the game.
Hit wicket at the non-striker's end. This is not.
In fact, given that the stumps were moving all over the pitch, can you take the stumps from the striker's end and plant it in the non-striker's end?
Or like Shamsi, produce a stump from your wicket and play that.
Good one.
Stump transplant.
Wait, Stumpy was also a mascot for some tournament, right? Stumpy?
Not this one though. It didn't run it onto the pitch.
There was a nice reference about the mascot from Simon Dool, who said he called it really well, by the way. Like he said, we had a gorilla win the mascot race, and now we've got the mist when the fireworks went up. So that was really nice.
I didn't get it.
Good.
Did the others get it?
No, I also didn't get that. Explain the reference.
I think we killed the.
Sorry,
No, we'll fix it and edit. It's okay.
This part of the thing. I think it's basically a reference about a movie, right? Like I don't know if it was King Kong or.
You also didn't get the reference.
No, it's
like everyone's retweeted this. This must be good.
No, it's. Because I assumed it was a King Kong reference, but apparently it's a
T. Rajendra
Godzilla
film.
based reference. T. Rajendra also possible. T. Rajendra also possible.
Oh God.
Got it.
Gorilla in the mist.
Okay, like that. No, you said
We missed it.
Podwin's law. In this case, it would be Pod Vinc because of James Vince ended up winning.
Yeah.
James.
This whole thing is so amazing, right? The James Vince's argument is, how is that even possible? If the ball is in the keeper's hand, you assume the game is over. How can the batsman then run? This entire thing is running on fields, right? It's like Srinath and all of us laughing at the gorilla missed joke. Everyone is saying so it must be funny. Like, everyone feels this way. What is the law, man? Like, obviously, the ball is not dead. Then one person told me, no, it was very clear. There was not enough intent in that batsman. It looked like he had given up.
Intent?
He had given up. If he had just kept running immediately, that would have been fine. But he didn't show enough intent, so it was assumed that he believed that the game was over. So the game was over. Like
He didn't have enough vitality, so it didn't show in his tent. Yeah, it's
One more sponsor ruled out on me. What else?
As long as James wins, the match is over.
now we are all wincing.
But most amazing trivia for me from the whole thing was usually David Lloyd calls all the drama. This time the umpire at the center of the drama was David Lloyd's son.
Oh,
Seriously?
really?
Graham Lloyd, yeah.
Oh, that's David Lloyd's son.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
First year without David Lloyd, is the centerpiece of the drama.
Nice.
But was he at the bowling end? Was he the umpire who's calling these guys back? No, right? That was Mills. The other one.
The other one was Mills. The other one was Mills.
Okay.
Good. Mills and Boons.
Talking about the captains, right? Dane Villas. Do you know what Dane Villas' brush with celebrity is? Do any of you know this?
He's a cricketer who's on TV. I think.
Enough.
Celebrity.
He has, by the way, played for
Don't
South
know, man.
Africa. I don't know if you guys remember, but Villas has played for South Africa. He was part of the, if you guys remember, another Vitality Blast from the past, Champions League T20, the tournament that used to happen. He was, I think, part of Cape Cobras when they came to India. And back in 2011, I have interviewed Dane Villas at Park Sheraton in Chennai. And the reason I interviewed him, right,
This is his claim to celebrity. fame.
Celebrity, yeah.
Has
Did it
been
happen
interviewed
at,
by Nitin Sundar.
We are one person removed from a Vitality Blast champion. Literally, like degree of separation is one. That is it. Yeah.
so
I'm
Sundar
shocked
number.
that after 40 seconds of your story, no reference to Muniandi Vilas yet. Is that where you interviewed him?
I wish. No, this was at Park Sheraton because that's where all the players were. So the reason I went to interview him was because, I mean, there were a lot of useless players. It was a useless tournament, and I was running out of ideas on what to do. So then Firdos Monda told me that you should go and speak to Dane Villas. I said, why should I speak to Dane Villas? So do you know that he's acted in a movie? So this guy, they made a movie on Hansi Cronje. Okay, it's called Hansi, I believe. He played Alan Donald in that movie.
Hansi to fussy. No?
He played Alan Donald.
He played Alan Donald.
What? He played Alan Donald.
He
Wow.
played Alan Donald.
Amazing.
Yes. So that is his claim to fame. And my claim to fame is, I interviewed.
Did he play the Alan Donald in the 99 final? Because that makes 99 semi-final. Because this makes complete sense right now.
Yes, it all comes together now.
Talking
The movie was only a dress rehearsal.
strikers and what. Oh boy. That closes the book.
Most amazing conclusion to the story is both Edgbaston. Yesterday also.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, correct. Edgbaston, yeah. This is what South Africa should have done in 99, dude. It's like, clearly Donald had intent to make the run. You can't make a run out after the runner has declared his intent to make the run. It's like,
I agree. Okay, another.
Macha, but he dropped his bat in 99, no? I mean, all intent also gone.
Yeah, true, exactly. There also it was a tie, by the way. It was not a win, but a tie that became a win also.
Yes.
Okay, since we were speaking about Edgbaston, right? Another piece of Edgbaston trivia. Edgbaston was famous for something in the 90s which no other cricket ground back then had. Do you guys know what?
You interviewed.
It has a Muniandi Villas.
he interviewed Edgbaston.
Floodlights in England.
No, so I think the Sri Lankan grounds now have this, right? Gall and all, where they have covers that cover the entire field. So Edgbaston had a cover, and it was a mechanized
Poor
cover.
cover.
It had a fun name as well. It used to be called the Brumbrella because it was at Birmingham. So back in the 90s, Brumbrella. Yesterday, Bumble illa, but they still went ahead and did the match.
Oh my god.
There are no gods. Godzilla.
I thought we were talking
Gorillas
about
in the
King
mist
Kong, man.
to,
Yeah,
just to finish.
No puns were missed in the
Missed.
Yeah. No one can basically run us out because all puns are fully intended.
Oh, yeah.
Like, lots of intent is there.
On a more serious note, sadly, we spoke about Vitality Blast for 37 minutes, but I found out 2 days ago that the World T20 qualifier was happening in Zimbabwe without any broadcast in the biggest
Zimbabwe.
market, which is India, right? So there's fan code broadcasting. Star usually used to broadcast all this 3-4 years ago. Now fan code has picked it up. Obviously, there's lots of Dream 11 activity around these games. So ICC.TV was streaming it. And
Wait. Sorry, when you say Dream 11 activity, you're not talking about Heat Streak sending text messages, right? Like,
I didn't say it, man. I didn't say it. I should tee it up for Nitin saying all of these matches were played in Bulawayo. Who
did you interview at Bulawayo, man? Tell me.
Interesting piece of trivia about Bulawayo, guys. it's the only
IPL song.
Exactly, it's the only cricket city which has featured an IPL song. Come on, Bulawayo, Re.
Bulawayo aaya hai. Bulawayo aaya hai.
Bulawayo. No, it was even in that Kingfisher song, no? Ula la la bulavayo.
Oh my god! See how much fun we have when we don't speak about Kohli and
But
India.
Srinath is the only straight on this podcast. He's the only one who wants to actually say stuff.
But he started off by saying this is on a serious note.
Yeah.
Not at all on a
When he
serious.
started
the most
saying that, I
serious.
was like, on a serious note, guys, 48 minutes in, I just realized I didn't hit record. I thought that is where he was going.
That is-
What is this?
That is episode 12 linked from the show notes.
So, yeah, good thing about Zimbabwe, just two venues, right? It's the Bulawayo and Harare. India used to always win or draw at Bulawayo and lose at Harare.
Harare. Okay.
Harare.
No, they nearly qualified for the last World Cup. Like, I think it came down to the last match they lost or something. In 2019 ODI World Cup or something. It came down.
In between, they were banned for some administrative stuff. So last year, they were not eligible to qualify. This year, they've made...
They've qualified, yeah.
Yeah, the USA had a good chance at qualifying till the last game, which they lost to the Netherlands. So Netherlands and Zimbabwe have made it to the World Cup later this year.
We still don't know who our World Cup 11 is.
Boss, World Cup doesn't know who its 16 is till yesterday.
Don't forget all that. There is supposed to be an Asia Cup, I believe, in August. It is still there on calendars
Yes.
and all. Sri Lanka doesn't know. It is supposed to be hosted in Sri Lanka. Everybody's going to Sri Lanka like this is the best time in the world to visit.
I know, Australia, Pakistan, everybody
Nobody was
wants
watching. Everyone is like distracted by the crisis. Randomly, Pakistan has showed up and they're playing there. Right?
Hey, not random. Last week, I said on the podcast last week, they're going to. I might have been the only person in the whole world. I think Sri Lankan board heard our podcast. They're like, oh, Pakistan is showing up. We have to make it.
Like you said, we were waiting for Sushmita Sen to confirm that this is actually happening.
Two people knew about that tour. One was Kar, the other was Yasir Shah, who I think the last time he played was in Sri Lanka only where he got wickets. And now again after like 4 years, I've still been here. He's been hiding in the golf fort and they just unleashed him again.
Yeah. Before we switch from one Sri Lankan series to the other, amidst all this comedy week, I think the tweet of the week goes to @Dissy259 Jason Gillespie, who randomly puts out a tweet in the middle of all this. Congratulations to Dinesh Chandimal on your test double century. An amazing effort to score over 200 runs in one innings in notoriously difficult subcontinent conditions. Well played.
Bro, he does this every time.
He does every time somebody gets
Nice.
to do it.
Very well done.
Yeah. Every time somebody scores, he's there. He's there. He's like an auto tweet bot for double hundreds.
in the
Hey,
subcontinent.
speaking of... One second, I'm sorry. Speaking of Bulawayo, Wasim Akram's 200.
Yeah.
Didn't that come in Bulawayo?
Sheikhupura.
Oh, that was Sheikhupura against... Okay, right. No,
But
you're right.
Paul Strang, another Zimbabwean, had 100 in that match, no?
Yeah, and Saklem
Yeah,
Mushtaq
yes.
scored 70 odd. At that point, you know
I know all
that-
this
that-
because of reading Nitin's organic chemistry notes. That's where.
Oh my God.
For the uninitiated listener, Srinath made this joke because Mithun Sundar shared a photograph of Nitin's old chemistry notes with us, which is the most random 11 ever assembled, which is a mnemonic for learning about something in organic chemistry, which Nitin himself has forgotten. But refer to the show notes for the most random 11, and if you can make sense of it, you win yourself some great merch from Vitality or something. Or come on the pod. No, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, and explain it to
Tell us what it is.
But we should talk about the end of that test match, right? With the Chandimal and with Jayasurya's wicket haul.
The end of the test match was when Chops played up Australia last week on the pod, saying
I know that was the end for Australia.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. I mean, I didn't watch it live, but I watched the highlights over the last 2 days, and I mean, astonishing as Chandimal's innings was. And then towards the end, as he got closer to his 200, like the sixes that he started clobbering off of Mitchell Starc, I think at some point Starc was like, are you kidding me? He was just completely bemused.
Maxwell should have been playing instead of me.
No, and Stark refuses to play the IPL every year, so he got just rewards for doing that by getting 6 and 3 top.
And Big Bash.
On him.
Yeah, big bash.
Yeah, it was a pretty big bash. But so the double hundred was amazing. And then Sri Lanka back to doing what they do best, which was amazing. Spinning out a team, and it was quite a dramatic collapse by the Aussies.
Whereas Scouts would
innings.
say Nathan Lyon was bowling straight balls and Prabhat Jayasuriya was bombing on the pitch.
I was the last 10, 11 overs of that game. It suddenly I got reminded of that. I mean, I don't know if it's travesty to bring up an IPL game here, but you guys know the.
Oh yeah. On this podcast, we don't allow you to talk about IPL.
Remember the Chahal hat trick, right? Where they were saving Cummins till the end because Cummins just cannot play spin at all, and Cummins was batting pretty well on this pitch, which blew my mind. I'm like, where was this guy? Why was Calcutta hiding him? And then I think Prabhat Jayasuriya just spun around him and he ended up I think getting bowled or something. It's a fun match, but I think Silverwood has more wins against Australia now than he ever did when he was coach of England.
As a the regional manager,
Silverwood legend, he blanked Sri Lanka 3-0 when they toured last. So home and away champion in Gaul, Silverwood. Undisputed, just climb up and take your belt, sir. That kind of thing.
Please plant the Silverwood and don't be uprooted.
It's both wood and ball now, so yeah, pretty good times to shake. Quality blast reference.
Best part is Kaus told us we all remember that IPL match. We all nodded nicely, just like we all nodded for that gorilla joke which we didn't understand. What hat-trick, what Chahal, what Cummins.
I didn't want to interrupt this, but Pat Cummins' first innings this IPL was a mad 50, where he just
he hit,
smashed everything.
Who was the bowler he was smashing? The donkey drop.
Daniel Samson.
That's not the innings he was talking about. That's why I was nodding my head. Okay, sorry.
This is different team, Dakar. This is other pink team.
Sorry.
Jealousy team. Okay. Yeah, Kaus, were you done with it?
Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's. What do you want? What more can you say about Sri Lanka winning one test, dude?
No, I think the peak bantz of this innings was Steve Smith getting trapped plumb in front. And going to Marnus and asking him, should I review? Marnus kept saying, don't review. And then the good shishya that he is, he was like, okay, whatever man, do it, right? So eventually 1 second on the clock, Steve Smith reviews, ball crashing straight into the stumps.
Straight dead on.
Marnus gets out, tries to do the same thing. Cam Green sends him off the pitch. Go, get out. Don't waste the last review.
The other thing was, with reference to Dizzy doing that every time someone does a double 100. The other fellow who does it very well is Damien Fleming from back in the day. So he had a test hat-trick on debut. Actually has a printed out letter where he has Dear Dash. And in that dash, fills up the debutants for Australia with pen every time and invites them to join the exclusive.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
sweet.
He has one nice letterhead also, bowlologist based. Come meet me at headmaster's office if you get hat-trick kind of thing. It's nice formal thing.
This test at Gaul, the Australia test, I think Prabhat Jayasuriya, obviously the Srinath Jayasuriya references are plenty, but he's someone who's, even in the Sri Lanka-Pakistan test yesterday, he's just bowling like an absolute dream. His action, his twist.
Days, please, we need Sri Lanka to beat Pakistan. Don't do this.
don't jinx so.
Yeah, no, I won't go beyond that. I will just say that he bowled very well and outdid my jinx from Australia test. Yeah.
I think today is the last time we'll see Kohli for at least a month and a half. till the Asia Cup happens.
If it
And no, so like there's some weird toolkit scenes happening where like every former India player has got the template to bash him, while every foreign slash former foreign player is just praising him like crazy. Like 2 days ago, you had Kevin Peterson and Babar Azam tweet giving their support, and yesterday I think Kohli broke Twitter by, I think it's his first reply on the platform, right? And yeah, it's his first reply on Twitter, and the reply went to Babar Azam, thanking him for his support. Right? Like it's very strange seeing how like people are reacting to Kohli. I think it's that it's like local toolkit versus foreign toolkit, if I can use the same language from last year, where Virat Kohli's foreign IT cell has been activated, and everyone who, a neutral observer who follows the game is like, yeah bro, like he's legend, like don't like slander him, whereas everyone in India has, like Kapil Dev has now released like 3 or 4 contradicting statements about what he feels about Virat Kohli at this point. Like till like a couple of days ago it was like no, like he's gotten too much of a rope, he needs to be dropped and all. And I think just yesterday he said, I didn't say he had to be dropped, I was just saying like he's such a legendary player, he needs to be taken care of, and like you should ensure he has a long career and all. Like
after seeing his social media drop by 40% followers, right? That's what Kapil Dev forced to react to.
And which could be Kapil Dev talking about himself.
Yeah. The reason Kapil is so confused is it's not like Virat is on the verge of any milestone. So what is he really playing for? That is the thing. Kohli also tweeted yesterday, just one word, it's perspective, and there's a picture of Kohli in front of a black wall on which 2 white wings, probably Garuda wings, have been painted, and the following text has been written: what if I fall? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? Perspective.
Same agency as Sushmita Sen, looks like.
but
Yeah, I think Babar Azam basically sent him a message saying, reply my SMS. That's why Virat Kohli finally put it out there.
But yeah, today could be the last time we are seeing him play for a while, like where he's been technically rested because of injury, but turns out he's completely fine. Like they're trying to like bend over backwards to figure out a way to say that he's dropped from the upcoming series.
Good segue into the team selection. Also rested is Jasprit Bumrah and Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson
Shreyas Iyer.
Is he rested? Like you have to be considered to be rested, right? Like,
He has been rested. He has been rested from the team. WRESTED.
Yeah. You explain the logic of this to me, right? So Sanju Samson is traveling to West Indies. His visa is there. They've got the special Thomas Cook rate for him. He's not playing the T20. Shreyas Iyer is playing ahead of him. But Sanju Samson, believe it or not, is part of the ODI squad to West Indies. So that's what's happening, I guess. Like,
and like this ODI team, West Indies ODI team is like, I mean, for lack of a better word, shambolic. Like Bangladesh have like yesterday they took 3-0, yes, but like, so while the Vitality Blast was going on, I was watching the actual cricket of Bangladesh trying to chase down 179. It took them 48 overs to chase it down.
They wanted
right? No, so their Test and T20 sides are doing pretty well, but their ODI side is in shambles at this point because they did.
I didn't watch the match. I just read the headline and the strapline on Cricinfo. Okay, I see that. Firstly, I'm shocked that Bangladesh are playing West Indies. I had no idea. Secondly, Bangladesh have won the series 3-0. That is even more shocking. The strapline says Gudakesh Moti, who is I believe a West Indian bowler. Gudakesh
Left arm spinner, as you do. Veerasamy Perumal, successor.
Suleiman Ben's friend. Gudakesh Moti took 4 wickets, but West Indies suffered injuries to their bowling attack. This is the strapline. Bangladesh wins series 3-0. West Indies suffered injuries to their bowling attack. Is this a match report or is this like selection announcement? What? I don't know.
Strapline below is the Tamim retires from T20.
That is like.
How do you explain this sport to anyone else? Like what?
I think what you mean is how do you explain cricket to anyone else? But yeah.
Also.
Kaustubh has muted his mic.
Kaustubh has left the conversation.
No, but like, yeah, I don't know how to why are you playing ODIs, man? Like, let alone you're picking Sanju Samson for it. Like, I don't know what to make of it.
Shikhar Dhawan, man. People want to see Shikhar Dhawan play. They know he can't play other formats. So one day cricket, basically, he's keeping it alive. They said Virat Kohli is keeping Test cricket alive. Shikhar Dhawan is keeping one day cricket alive.
I think the reality to all of this is for the 2023 ODI World Cup, you need to play all these Super League commitments. So that's why random 3-match series are popping up everywhere, because 3 is the minimum number of games you need to play for a series to count.
No, but India is already through, right? They don't.
India is
through, but the other teams.
India's opponents can take points.
Yeah.
From that series.
What if you don't play these tournaments and just show up to the World Cup? But ICC will fine you, is it?
No, they have Thomas Cook commitments for the bulk deal, so they have to.
Shikhar Dhawan is basically Hawala for all these people. He's laundering the Super League commitments for every single person.
He was also briefly living away, right? It's probably true. Yeah.
The question you asked is exactly what Cricket South Africa CEO asked this week, right? What if you don't play? I'll just start a T20 league. I'll forfeit 30 points.
Yeah, I think you should give context for those of us who are not following.
I didn't even know that this was possible, but South Africa on that league that I just described, there's I think 8 teams qualify on their own, or I think top 8 qualify. South Africa currently 11th on that table. I didn't even know like 11 teams are playing ODI cricket, right? First of all. So basically South Africa have 3 series left before the World Cup in 2023, of which they've forfeited 1, which is against Australia early next year. So that's worth 30 points, which have gone to Australia. South Africa have now 2 more series to ensure that they qualify directly for the 2023 World Cup, without which they'll play a World Cup qualifier, which obviously is good news for ICC TV ratings, right? They'll go play against all the other teams trying to vie for the last 2 spots on the World Cup.
Wait. Who's watching these qualifiers on TV?
Yeah, exactly.
People
South
are not
Africa
watching
in a World Cup qualifier.
People are not watching World Cup only. Like World Cup qualifiers because South Africa.
This Nitin Sundar, you're basically saying it's one country against Supersport. You should be. What is this payback for? Like
one country for Supersport. So the logic is South Africa is starting a T20 league next year, like for the 4th time, I believe. This is their 4th attempt at starting a T20 league, which is the goal of which is to be number 2 to the IPL, because apparently that space is not taken by anybody as of today.
IPL itself is 30. It's number 2. What number 2 to IPL?
What?
Anyway.
Oh, that number 2.
Oh.
Toilet humor. Okay.
Toilet humor.
Took me 10 seconds, but yeah.
unlike the King Kong joke, which we never got.
Which is
instant joke recognition.
Which is not even a King Kong joke by the looks of it. Because when I googled it came Gorillas in the Mist. I thought this is too niche. He can't have referred to this. Right?
And you should not have found it funny even if it did. But yeah.
Anyway, so they're starting a T20 league, and apparently 4 IPL teams are wanting to invest in that league. So IPL number 2 is also potentially another IPL. I also heard... I don't know if this is true, but apparently Jay-Z's company is contracted to conduct that tournament. Is that right?
Wow.
JC is not like some rapper name for Jay Shah, right?
I know, I was just Jay-Z.
No, so Jay-Z's company was hired by Cricket South Africa very recently. Right, so it could be that. I'm not entirely sure.
100% I guarantee you, by the time Cricket South Africa gets this thing off the rails and up and running and all, IPL will schedule another IPL in South Africa before that. 100% I'm guaranteeing.
One thing
very
for sure.
timely intervention, Kart, because Sundar Raman owns 12.5% of the league. Oh. So he's the mastermind behind IPL in South Africa 12 years ago.
One thing will definitely happen. Your Kolkata Knight Riders will create one more team there, like Titan Knight Riders or something. Darren Bravo will be a part of all 3 squads. Trinbago Knight Rider, Kolkata Knight Rider, Titan Knight Rider. He goes everywhere. Like he's on the Thomas Cook payroll for sure. He has a team. Doesn't play anywhere.
Basically, South Africa has relinquished its place to qualify for the World Cup because money is more important. Therefore, T20 league, right? So.
On
Do you
balance
remember this guy called Dane Pete who traveled to India to basically be smashed around and
get periscoped?
Yeah, get periscoped. And I wanted to check where he was a year later. He moved lock, stock and barrel to the US to like basically saying like, I'm going to make a better living there. So I think South Africa has very real problems as far as monetizing cricket is concerned.
Looks like green card queue is the same, right? Because some 40 guys have moved to the US, but they're still playing with the same guys from 5 years ago in the international team. Don't know.
Unmukt Chand.
Can't please
Unmukt
shed some
Chand.
light.
Hashtag Unmukt Chand. Yeah. No, my only contribution to this is I woke up this morning and I watched a full game of minor league cricket, which is a thing here in the US now. We have Chicago Tigers, St. Louis Americans. It's all the same Desi names only in the teams. It's just branding on top of it. It's actually quite entertaining. I watched the game. It was a close. That's a good question. The minor league cricket, I'm not sure, but they now have a major league cricket that's supposed to come up in a couple of years.
Satya
And
Nadella.
Yeah. So it's your usual. So our local Seattle team is a consortium of tech CEOs, including Satya Nadella, a bunch of people who made their money at Amazon, at Microsoft, all these people.
By the way, 2024 World Cup is in the US.
Wait,
for which,
there is a 2024
US
World Cup.
yes.
We are literally playing World Cup every
T20.
6 weeks.
Which,
Huh?
what is cricket or?
Or
like-
T20.
This is T20 World Cup.
T20 World Cup. It's in the US.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
US secured
Still,
automatic qualification.
Like they don't want Indian viewers or what? What's happening? Like
No, they'll keep it in the US at 2 a.m. US time or something. They have to.
It's not a,
Ultimately, it has to
not
be
a day-night
India.
match. It is
Exactly.
a night-day match. We start in the night and finish in sunrise.
Florida and Ghatkopar, same thing, right? 1 a.m. cricket on Facebook live stream.
yeah, but this South Africa thing is also affected by Brexit and Kolpak deal, or am I just like misconstruing the two? Does Kolpak still exist for South African cricketers?
No, it doesn't. It
World
doesn't.
Cup doesn't
No.
exist anymore. does it?
Yeah,
Huh.
but some
And
of the
that
guys
is because
who
of
were,
Brexit, right? Or no?
That is because of Brexit. Some of the guys who got through via Kolpak said Dane Vilas of Park Sheraton fame. So he's also ex-Kolpak who now I think qualifies on the basis of residency or something. I'm not sure.
You have to start with interesting anecdote about Brexit.
And then we can all cuss the Queen at the end.
Of course, yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah.
The other fellow, I think, who was Kolpak earlier, South Africa's one of South Africa's best spinners ever, Simon Harmer, who barely played for South Africa, is back playing for South Africa now. Because the Kolpak scene is Kolpak.
He called himself best off spinner in the world. Ashana left it on red. So yeah,
Yeah, well, speaking of West Indies minor league cricket and all other minnows, Ireland has stunned New Zealand to make a historic series triumph and winning the third test. Oh wait, this is rugby. Wait, sorry, this is the first Google result that came up when I searched for New Zealand versus Ireland. So,
Tony, nice try, da, nice try.
but
wanted to destroy
apparently-
New Zealand but destroyed cricket's SEO.
Yeah, but apparently Ireland seemed to be doing pretty
What
well.
apparently? Pakka you watch every single game hoping they'd win.
Tony's like, it's like Harry Potter where Snape is watching cursing. Tony's like watching the game cursing New Zealand every ball.
yeah. I shouldn't have. I got too excited. But Ireland took India to the last ball in one of those games, and now New Zealand to really two close games. Srinath, as our New Zealand correspondent, how do you react to this?
As New Zealand correspondent, I must clarify. I booked tickets to watch them play the Netherlands in 2 weeks' time in Woerburg near the Hague, as you do once again. But no, like
Is that a ICC Super League match?
I don't know.
No, nice, yeah.
Doom only. So I think it's a T20. Yeah, it is like 3 hours. So it should not be part of any qualifying commitments.
You book tickets by number of hours. 3 hours.
3-hour visa you got to go to Woerburg.
What if they call no ball like 2 minutes later? You can't watch the last ball.
Srinath will find them for overrate violation.
Check-in window has begun, sir. Please finish.
All right.
Full comedy though. Ireland, New Zealand, because
I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners probably have no idea the series is happening. So we should actually mention the scores, at least of the last game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Okay.
Yes, listener here.
Okay.
No, I think
I only know
Ireland
360,
scored.
359. I don't know anything else. So yeah.
Yeah, no. In the first game, Ireland scored 300 and New Zealand won by 1 wicket because suddenly Michael Bracewell learned how to bat. Like, I think he learned how to bat while playing. No, he learned. But I think he learned how to bat while playing Ireland, like proper.
Bollywood song, no, like from childhood to.
Michael learns to rock. Oh, sorry, not rock. Michael learns to bat.
Yeah, so like so that game was like I had watched that game and the 360, 359 wala game, and like so there was this one tweet that someone had put up to like as a reply to when India had bowed out of the World Cup, the South Africa was the final game, right, the women's team, and someone had just tweeted saying dil kafi jeet liya, abhi match jeeta karo. Okay, like I feel like that about Ireland. Like I like this team, but like man, just get over the line once. Like it's like it's
I feel you, cows.
Yeah.
Actually, ironically or non-ironically, Tony will be surprised. I feel really bad for Ireland because they've been pretty mediocre for 5-6 years now, right? Like they lost a whole bunch of their all-timers like Porterfield and Kevin O'Brien and all these guys. Now finally they have something called a middle order. Harry Tector, as Sabah Karim would say, Harry Tucker, has been batting really, really well over the past few games. He did really well against India as well. So they scored 200s in the final game, chasing, and still lost by, was it 1 run? Kaus?
Yeah, 1 run, yeah.
Yeah. So New Zealand obviously like resting Kane Williamson, like we are doing. So Michael Bracewell is filling in as both lead batsman and bowling all-rounder. So that's the state of the series. I don't think you need to know anything else.
Is it in the ICC Super League?
I think it is because I heard the Ireland captain say, Ireland captain was saying really sad not to get off this week without any points, which, as we know, bilateral series don't have any point usually. So.
Clearly, this series was scheduled with Malahide intentions. We've already cracked this game.
We've done that.
Okay, when you said Ireland has a good middle order, I hope you were not referring to Paul Stirling's midsection, which seems to have become really huge in the last many years. As is his appetite for runs, by the way. Interesting trivia about Paul Stirling, guys.
That's it. That is it.
I think he scored the most runs, right, in the last in ODIs in the last couple of years.
That also probably is true because nobody else. The only competition is Shikhar Dhawan. There are only 2 people playing ODIs right now. But
and Babar Azam, what are you saying?
Babar Azam is busy putting
Bobby
tweets.
Prince.
He's putting tweets. He's the next Shoaib Akhtar. He's building Indian fan base. So Paul Stirling in the 2011 World Cup also did very well. He was there in that World Cup. I remember I wrote the headline for the last match that Ireland played in the league stage. He scored a century, they won the game and they bowed out of the tournament. The headline was Sterling End to Ireland's Campaign. Yeah, very proud of that.
Nice.
Did you meet him at Sterling Resorts after?
Pound for pound, that's a great headline. Sterling End.
No, Dublin or nothing.
Malad to Malahide.
Before we sort of go gorilla on the mist on this episode, Abhishek Chopra, our file transfer protocol consultant, Future Tours program has interesting things to report. Chops, over to you. What's happening?
Yeah, so for the first time in the next FTP cycle, we will have the Border Gavaskar Trophy, the India-Australia bilateral test series, as 5 tests each at home in India as well as away in Australia. So the last time it happened was before the 92 World Cup, when we lost 4-0 or 5-0, one of the two. And so this is probably a sign of India's growing prowess in world cricket, if that wasn't clear to everyone already. The other thing that...
Growing. Okay, go.
The other thing that's
So have we? Sorry, Chops. So if it's 5 tests, have we named a series like a squad of 60 people? Because without that, we're not going to make
60
it.
people, five captains, different captain for every test.
No, captains is not a problem. Out of that 60, 30 will be captains already. That's not an issue.
But this has actually happened. I mean, India has had 4 or 5 captains in a test series once back in the day. But anyway, the other thing is England and India are also going to do 5 tests, both home and away. And the windows for all the T20 leagues that are there have become like very specific. Like when Cricinfo reported it, also they had like proper Gantt chart kind of windows for all the IPL for all the T20 leagues in the world. Like international cricket is supposed to figure their way around it. We will, in all probability, continue the proud tradition of going to England after the IPL. Making whatever sorry excuse we have to about our performance there, and maybe we'll have another book launch this time by the next coach, and we'll return halfway because of some other apocalyptic sin about some disease, and then next year I'll cry again about Ravindra
Super. I have a question on this, on the home leagues legs of these series. How many tests out of 10 are in Ahmedabad? 7 or 8?
No, there's one more.
To win away, and I'm the bad man.
There's one more takeaway. Tri-series are coming back.
Yeah, Tri-series are
coming back. So somehow they all there are 2 Tri-series penciled in with Pakistan and one with Zimbabwe. Like it's Zimbabwe, South Africa, and potentially
in is
New
the operative word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erase it with rubber.
Very light pencil.
No, that is a key question. Will they be part of the Super League?
There is an answer to that. There is an answer to that. There is no Super League anymore. This is the last time there was Super League happening. Yeah.
Super League is over.
Super League is over.
It was not super.
It's over halfway through, or like
No.
the rest of the matches still count?
The current matches still count, but after the 2023 World Cup ends, that's it. No more Super League.
Poor ICC, this must have been a new revenue stream, no? Pay fine for overrate, pay fine if you don't participate in Super League. Teams are like, no, we don't want to play out. Now they'll double down on overrates.
Basically, cue Shikhar Dhawan's retirement after this because no more reason to play ODI cricket.
No, so on that whole Gantt chart thing, right? All other T20 leagues have windows. IPL has IPL gate. It's like everything is getting crowded out. IPL keep getting bigger and bigger. It'll be a 3-month tournament. Very short.
Mohan Krishnamurthy likes this.
Let's go on to the fake IPL story then.
Basically, one fellow in Gujarat had this brainwave after visiting Russia that people there are super gullible and he can put him in trouble. So
put in trouble. Okay.
Put in trouble.
Put in the rubles.
So he came back, hired a piece of farmland, installed portable floodlights, and hired cheap farm labor.
And called it Ukraine. No, sorry. Sorry.
No, the floodlights were on trains. So
Not Mason.
So hired cheap farm labor and then
400 rupees per day.
yeah, 400 rupees per day, more than Narega, and put cameras at both ends and started a live stream and made an official Telegram channel on which.
Official Telegram channel. Okay.
Look at the digital strategy, bro. Telegram, specific.
Not that was the channel that was used by the Russians to place bets on the tournament, and the team names were and the team jerseys, obviously fake team names, fake team jerseys, and the tournament was apparently a major hit. And then somehow somebody got wind of it. It was reported very, very widely in the media, and
Sorry, I was going to say last we heard Ambati Raidu was going to go sign up for it.
only if they offered him 3D glasses, that is. Yeah, I think the whole incident reminded me of that fake IPL player blog.
I was about to say the last time I've heard about fake IPL was when there was player attached to it in what 2011, 2010.
Nine.
Same funda. One guy had a brainwave, and yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Fantastic blog. Dude.
In between, like this basic Gujarat model was widely successfully tested in one of the greatest democracies of the world. I don't know which one, but yeah. But you missed a key detail, Chops. They also had a fake Harsha Bogle.
Yeah.
So Srinath, Sripath, where were you during the hours of?
Habibi, what is your alibi?
I think this is what he's going to Hague for. He's just trying to cover it up with some New Zealand Netherlands
He's
match.
making up new one-day games, dude. He's not stopped with this. Can't play. Yeah?
Hey, Nitin,
Fake
before you ask, the fake IPL was not part of the ICC Super League.
Only because it is a T20 format. But yeah, dude. So the teams are Maharashtra Rangers and Palanpur Sports Kings. I'm watching this game. I guess
Watching.
Yeah. There it is.
On Telegram.
On E-Team.
I'm telling you, by the end of this week, Nitin will have memorized all the scorecards of all the fake players also.
No, so
And he will have a
scripted,
favorite kit. And
He'll have favorite kit. He'll remember when he had that kerchief in the bag. That's when no ball is being bowled.
Maybe,
no ball happened.
maybe one of them is going to come to Park Sheraton for an interview also.
Interesting trivia about Palampur Titans.
Darren Bravo is a part of that team.
But you guys remember there was a fake Sri Lanka T20 league in Punjab during the start of the lockdown.
With
Uva
Parvez
T20.
playing.
You were T20.
Oh yeah. Oh, they had real player names, is it?
No, yeah, they put some other guys and called them Parvez Maroof. That's when Parvez Maroof realized
This is the opposite of Denier.
No, wait, that's when shit hit the Maharoof.
The best Parvez Maroof reference is from one of Sidin's cricket.
Yeah, I ran into him in the Dubai airport or something.
Yeah, and look, Parvez Maroof, and someone
Pakistani
basically
dictator.
said, which was Parvez Musharraf. We are all about explaining the jokes here, and about explaining the jokes and fake domestic cricket, but also like jokey, fake, real domestic cricket. Srinath has a story from Tamil Nadu.
I don't know whether to call it. I luckily stumbled upon the Tamil Nadu Premier League from the game from yesterday. So Ashwin has flown in from England straight to Coimbatore to play T20 cricket as part of the Tamil Nadu Premier League. So he's captaining Dindigul Dragons, who are playing the Chepauk Super Gillies, which is the Chennai team. No references from another league at all. So Dindigul Dragons were batting first. Lost one wicket, and guess who strides in at number 3? This should not even be a question. So, walks in the power play. It's actually
Was it
like
Viv
a pretty
Richards or something?
Viv Richards, Jasprit Bumrah. Anyway, so Ashwin walks in, and it's actually a pretty decent bowling attack, right? Sandeep Warrior, who's played in the IPL, formerly of Kerala, now I think he plays for Tamil Nadu, right? Sandeep Warrior is bowling at the other end. Ashwin walks in at number 3 against Sandeep Warrior. Goes first ball, I think the other guy is facing. He calls right. Ashwin basically looking at himself as always and sprinting down the pitch. And the other guy is actually watching where the ball is and trying to call the run. So Ashwin's almost at the other end, having run himself out. The other guy sacrifices his wicket, goes off. So first ball, someone else is run out. Ashwin's just like shrug emoji. The other guy just doesn't say anything. He goes off. Then Ashwin
was his name Ashok Singhal? Anyway,
Vishal Vaidya, if I'm not wrong. So Ashwin's then 0 of 3, 1 of 5, 3 of 9. Pretty slow in the power play. The AHA power play, as it is called, right? Everything is sponsored, even in the TNPL. So they're showing some Vijay Sethupathi movie promo on the pitch. Star Sports is broadcasting this instead of ICC World T20 qualifier. Says everything about cricket in a very sad way. So Ashwin's playing 3 of 9, and then the left arm spinner comes into bowling from around the wicket. Ashwin is screaming into the stump mic at the umpire. Ashwin's non-striker, right? Bowler is bowling. It's called a wide. Ashwin screaming in Tamil saying, "Sir, in the recently concluded IPL, they were calling these no balls because the guy sidestepped there on the crease. Ask your third umpire to go and recheck the rule book, sir." This is all said in Tamil.
Did he in the recently concluded IPL?
Did he seriously write a letter to editor to the stump mic?
No ball, right? Confusion.
Sir, இப்ப நடந்து முடிஞ்ச IPL, that's what he said. And this is all on the stump mic, right? So basically, Ashwin's calling a side crease no ball and asking for a free hit for Dindigul Dragons.
Citing as per Supreme Court ruling of
Section 23, whatever, right?
Hey, Pakka he did engineering only, no? He didn't nobody writes like this. Just like
Telling you, man.
Did they change the call?
No. But the umpire looked legit spooked, man. Like, obviously, what will he do, right? Like, he's probably not a BCCI qualified guy or anything. He's a TNCA umpire. And the guy is just screaming at you as some international cricketer with 400 wickets, looking for 2 extra runs for the Dindigul Dragons. So yeah, guy is proper spooked.
Looks like where Virat Kohli should also come and play, dude, and like regain some confidence and go back.
Amazing.
So yeah, that was it. And he scored 25 of 29 in the end, and Dindigul Dragons lost the game.
Respectable 25-29.
Yeah, but what's important is that the rules were maybe not followed, but people learnt new rules when he was playing. If you have Ashwin at every international game or every game of any repute, you will never have Vitality Blast kind confusion at ending. He will ensure things are done right by the book.
All right. On that note, if you're still with us, why? Get a life done. No, seriously. Thank you for listening in. And share, subscribe, and rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get us. As long as you're rating us 5 stars. Otherwise, please don't. If you're irate about us, just let us know at our Twitter handle /Instagram, which we'll put in the show notes. You can follow us also, but I assure you, spreading the word about Bits and Pieces is probably more of a social service, because why not? And on that note, thanks everyone for joining us. This is episode 28 and we are signing off. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.